Oh, hello. Any percent glitchless console. We got to be a little bit more specific because there are two different versions of this category: any percent glitchless and any percent glitchless console. Because there are major differences between the PC and N64, which is the version I'm playing on, version. Mostly load times. A lot of glitches and things like that are only in N64, and things that you don't want to happen, glitch-wise, are in N64. So hopefully we'll avoid that. I am the current world record holder for this, so if anybody is interested in running this game, I am more than happy to help you out. But that being said, I think we'll just get right into it. The timer starts once you cross the finish line. 3, 2, 1, go is, 3, 2, 1, go. So we will start off with your Captain Redbeard. This game is pretty dope. I really like it. It came out around the same time as like Mario Kart 64 and like Aero Gauge and other things like that. This will be the only cutscene that we'll watch because we'll be skipping the others for time's sake. But it came out around the same time as those games. It didn't really get a lot of attention, but I've run into a lot of people that are like, man, I used to love this game as a kid. Like, I played this a lot as a kid, and like, but no one plays it currently. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go is going to be the timer. And we're off. This is a pretty simple race here. What I want to do is just stay out in front, which is sort of the idea of every race. But I'm grabbing these blue pickups here. It's very similar to Diddy Kong Racing in that the different colored bricks correspond with different abilities. The whites just help you to power up your current ability. 3 different stages for each one. Red is going to be your, like if we're talking Mario Kart terms, red is going to be your shells, yellow is going to be your bananas, blue is going to be your shields, and green is going to be your boosts. So that's kind of how this game works. Alrighty. There is a shortcut in this level, but it's actually faster as far as routing these green pieces to not take it. But what you would do is just shoot a cannonball, or any other projectile towards the barrels that we passed inside the cave there. Let's see. So a lot of this routing is really just trying to get your warp as quickly as possible, which is a stage 3 boost, or this green here. I almost missed it. As far as the differences between this game and the PC version, this game handles a lot clunkier. It's almost like you're actually driving a Lego car. It's very, very clunky, and it responds to like the all the different changes in the terrain, which you'll probably see a lot in this race here, Dark Forest Dash. Every little bump sends you flying. So it's a little nuts. I'm gonna try and get ahead of them here. I've recently got a new route for this race that saves about half a second off of what I used to do, but it's a lot more dangerous. So I'm gonna kind of play it by ear here, and because I don't really want to screw this up, and I just kind of did. All right, there we go. There we go. That's what we want to do. And that's a lap. Alright, in the glitchless, or the glitched category of this game, we would already be done Dark Forest Dash, because there's a bunch of lap skipping mechanics that you can do. Oof. It's a bad turn. Lap skipping mechanics that you can do that make each lap take about, 5 seconds. That's the key difference between glitchless and glitched. Oh well. Now we get to see the rest of the track because I missed my piece. I should be focusing a little bit more. So if there are any announcements, it would be a fantastic time. Otherwise, I can keep rambling.
So we do have some incentives coming up here for the afternoon. Actually, the next incentives I think are actually for tomorrow's races, tomorrow's runs here for character choice bid war for Hello Kitty cruisers. And we have an incentive for Bloodstained Curse of the Moon to be Zangetsu only, so you can get those donations in for those incentives as well. And I can tell you a little bit more about prizes in a bit.
Oof. Oh boy, that was a plus 16 on my splits. That was kind of a bad race, but it's okay. Many more races to go. Alright, now we got Magma Moon Marathon, one of my favorite courses. Just because I like it aesthetically. It's not too difficult to route. And, yeah, blue is a good color. Good ambiance. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, all the NPCs here. We got Governor Broadside right there next to me. We had Rob N. Hood. Somebody told me on one of my streams that he looks like Link. And that person is also an Ocarina of Time runner, so it makes sense that he sees Link everywhere he goes. Pick up another green here. There we go. And that's lap 1. So yeah, just want to grab the whites and the greens. That's really all you need for this run. And trying not to pick up other things. I'll just go ahead and waste that. Because if you pick up a different color than what you want, say for example I kept that red, and then I run over that green to pick up a boost, it will replace that green with a red. So the next lap that I come through, if no other NPC has picked that up, it will remain red. So that will kind of screw up my ability to get my power-ups when I want them. So not only do you have to route the pieces that you need, the bricks, excuse me, we're playing a Lego game, I have to use the right terminology. You really don't want to override the greens. You also don't want to pick up anything else other than a green without the intention of getting rid of it. Oh boy. Lost a little bit of time there, but that's not a big deal. And moving on to the DAD course, as I call it, DAD, Desert Adventure Dragway. This one's a little tedious, because Captain Redbeard here likes, he prefers the cannons, or the red pickups. You'll notice that each sort of course boss has a theme, and being a pirate, he likes his cannonballs. So he'll be kind of picking up all the reds that you see, or at least trying to. Alright, there we go, got that white, good. Don't pick up anything here. Oh well, that's fine. Because we're going to override that green. Well. Okay, so we have to do a backup here, which is fine, because I missed that green. And the next one isn't until the pretty much the end of the level. So we're going to use the shortcut here to get 1, 2, 3 white pieces and the green, and then just boost on out of here. There we go. Ooh, if we lap somebody, that'll probably be the first time I've done that in a long time. There we go. It's also about knowing when to boost, because if you boost at the wrong time, you may find yourself boosting straight into a wall when you come out of it. Which is pretty common on this track, because that little area that I went through the shortcut on, if you boost a little too early when you get it, you will just slam right into the wall. And that's a huge time loss. So you don't want to do that, ideally. Alright, well that's the first circuit. Captain Redbeard goes down pretty easily. So does King Kahuka, who's the next course that we have here.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is this deep Lego lore with these bad guys, or is this are they characters just from this game?
Yes, is the short answer to that. Captain Redbeard, King Kahuka, Basil the Batlord, Johnny Thunder. 1 second here, sorry, I gotta make sure I get the right one here. There we go. And several of the others are actual lore, like anybody who's had Legos in the 90s or early 2000s will probably recognize a lot of the iconography here for King Kahooka with the Islanders set. It's an actual character in Lego lore. Same with Captain Redbeard. Some of them are made up for the game. Like you have Rocket Racer. I mean, they have pieces for a lot of these people now, but at the time they were made up just for the game. So I'll try and point them out whenever I get the opportunity to there. King Kahooka is lore. He is lore. I actually think I have a King Kahooka somewhere in storage. Should probably pull it out. There we go. That is the only green in this race. So if you miss that, it's bad news, bears. Okay. King Kahooka really likes the blue pieces, the shields, which is why I'm really not too worried about him or his circuit. So when you kind of learn the bosses here, as I'll call them, the bosses, you kind of learn what to look out for. Like the very, very first race against Captain Redbeard, you're gonna want to learn kind of how to like do the little R dashing, like what I'm doing right there. That'll help prevent getting hit by cannonballs. You just wait until you hear the explosion of the cannonball firing, and then you just kind of R dash out of the way. 9 times out of 10, it'll sail over you or miss you. That's a really good way to stay ahead of him. But with King Kahooka, just stay ahead of him, and all you have to really do is worry about your routing and your pathing. That's it. He's really not a threat. I missed the boost because I'm being dumb and distracting myself. There we go. So there's Tribal Island Trail. I'm not going to say the short version of it. There are children watching. Now we start getting into the more difficult courses. The things where you can save time by doing risky maneuvers. Which, you know what? We'll do it. There we go. Want to stay off the grass. Grass reduces your speed, and so does bonking or hitting a wall, which should be obvious to anybody who's played a racing game.
Or been in a car.
Or been in a car, yes, or is familiar with the concept of driving. I don't know, some people don't. I have an aunt in my family who didn't get her driver's license until she was in her 60s, so you never know. Some people just are not familiar, I guess. I am overriding all sorts of greens here. It's not a good race, but it is still fine. We're still on pace. It also has pretty good music. I've actually caught myself humming this music like on a regular day. People think I should get a psyche eval. They're probably right. See, that's what I meant about bad timed boosts. You'll come right out into a wall. Because you can't just hit the brakes and stop. It'll slow you down, but you're coming out of those boosts at your cart's fastest speed. So it's bad news bears if you run into a wall. Okay, let's see. Deep cut lore of Lego lore. I mean, you think Lego doesn't have lore, you've never heard of Bionicle. That is some convoluted stuff there. Alright, there we go. Alright, I played a little bit safe on that one, so that's why I lost 11 seconds. But I didn't want to lose, a minute and a half. So, there we go. Ice Planet Pathway, this is... I talked in Dark Forest Dash about jumping around. This one, you jump all over the place. There we go. There we go. Oh, okay. Missed that green, that's fine. Alright, this is the shortcut that you would go through. This would give you 3 whites in the green here. There we go. Oh! I cut a little bit too early there. Just gonna go ahead and grab that. Just play it a little safely. Not even going to worry about that second white because I'm confident I can pick up 2 in here. So 1 and 2. Grab the green, go! Shazoo! Grab another green and go. Alright. Now we will just see all these courses again in Mirror. Because rather than having an actual mirror mode in this game, they just include it as far as the circuits are concerned. So the first 3 circuits are kind of normal, and then you do them again in reverse with different bosses. Kind of a neat concept, but some of the bosses later I have affectionate little nicknames for, because they are not my favorite. For example, who we're going to see after this next race. He's my most hated, and I lose a lot of runs to him. A lot of runs. He's... I'm making a very conscious effort to keep my language clean here. I really don't like him. Oh boy, okay. So, this is Amazon Adventure Alley. I get it confused with Adventure Temporal Trail, which I know is easy to do. And if I slur my words a little bit, I apologize. I just got a tooth extracted about an hour before I started here. Oh boy. So my mouth is still a little numb. So that being said, if there are any more announcements, now would be a great time before I embarrass myself further.
Sure. We do have, again, that those next 2 incentives. You've got Hello Kitty Cruiser's Character Choice Bid War that closes at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. The next incentive after that is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, Zangetsu only. That closes at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. And our next prize that's up is one of the great SpeedGaming Live t-shirts. They're very, very cool designs here this week, and which you can enter to win one with any donation here, where you've got one of Simon Belmont's Whip, Castlevania, a question mark block from Mario, a Minecraft axe, all the Ninja Turtles weapons, and then 2 Zelda-inspired ones, one with 2 rupees on it and one with Master Sword on it. They look really rad, and I would encourage you to make your donations, and any purchase of those t-shirts also goes towards the incentives and other prizes as well. So definitely take a look at those.
Missed a golden opportunity to say, and Minecraft axe.
Oh, that's a good point. No, you know what? I'll save that for a couple hours when people have forgotten about it.
You can have that one. That's free. All right, King Kahuka, it's almost like we never saw him because he was always behind us, but here he is, all sad that he lost, but grateful that there's a new fantastic speedrunner who's going to take the title from Rocket Racer. Alright, I don't want to see his face any more than I have to. Basil the Edgelord, Basil the Batlord, and a variety of other unsavory nicknames I have for him. One of them right now is on my splits. I won't repeat it. Alright. He likes to grab the greens. And just pretty much anything that you're going for. Okay, so he grabbed it. We don't have to worry too much about anything else. He does like the occasional red, so he'll kind of throw some lightning or some missiles at you. But for the most part, you really just have to make sure that he doesn't pick up your greens wherever they are. There we go. And grab the backup. Don't hit the wall. I hit the wall. That's a really risky backup. There we go. Alright. So we're through. We're pretty good for the rest of this race, so long as we don't, flub up our drift turns here. There we go. Grab that. There we go. Okay. Good. So we're already at stage 3. We don't need a yellow, we don't need a blue, we don't need a blue, like I just said, we need this green, and go. Ah. Messed up my drift turn. Something as simple as letting off of the R button for about a quarter of a second will be the difference between getting through there on a world record pace or slamming into a wall, or missing a green like I just did. But that's okay. It's not a big deal, it's lap 3. So let's showcase some other stuff. Alright, there you go. Full tier red gives you homing rockets. It's kind of like 3 blue shells, but they, rather than going after first place, just goes after whoever's in front of you. I got some shields, got a boost, got a cannonball, got an oil slick, all sorts of stuff. What more could you want? A grappling hook? They got that too. Some weird Sphinx-like thing that makes your controls reverse? We got that. Hailstorms? We've got it. Pirate Skull Pass, my least favorite course? Oh, you know we've got it. In fact, we have it twice. Ugh. Alright, this one... Okay, I got the white at least. I'm going to see if I can give Basil a little bit of time, because he's going to pick up this green right here. I want to see if it respawns. It did, thank gosh. There we go. Go. That's actually a really good start for this race. This is... Oh, so much can go wrong on this race. The terrain is a mess. Like, all the NPCs get a bee in their bonnet on this course and just start throwing everything at you for whatever reason. Alright, I really just want to stay ahead of Basil. I don't really care about these pickups so long as I get the green and stay ahead of him, because otherwise he can really wreck your race. There we go. And I don't know if you can hear it, but on my controller you hear a lot of clacking. That's because there's a lot of really fine turning in this, because it is really, really finicky. Alright, get this white and launch off. We're good to go. Don't need that. Because if you notice, if the ground isn't flat like a tarmac or a race course, it's all sandy and bumpy, and with the N64 you can really see the difference in all the different polygons. So every little change in that is like a little bump that you have to go over, and it can send you every which way. So if you're not on the line that you want to be on after a turn or after going over a bump, you have to make these tiny little adjustments, and those are not easy to do on the N64's dead zone, because it's like you're either not touching it or it's full yoke. So you really gotta like get used to fine-tuning that. Alright. First of the difficult stages is kind of out of the way. Wow, only 8 seconds away from a gold on that. Normally I'm right around the plus 12, plus 13 for that particular race, but that one wasn't too bad. I owe it all to getting ahead of them. Alright, Adventure Temple Trail. This is another one where I want to get ahead of them. Grab that green and just go. Grab that blue and save it, because we're going to need this shield for a strategy that I use here. Because we're going to have a little laser shooting at us. There we go. Oh, he's a jerk. That's why I hate you, Basil. Steal my green. Oh, and he stole the other one, too. What a jerk. Alright, so we're going to have to do this normally. Basil. Basil, I hate you. I hope you know. Alright, he normally doesn't grab the last screen on this stage, which is right here. But now that I've overwritten it, I'm going to have to keep that in mind. So it basically stays whatever you've overwritten it as until somebody picks it up. So it will be a blue that entire time. But I'm going to go back through on this lap and pick it up, because nobody ever gets that pickup, NPC or otherwise. So I need to make sure it's clear for the third lap, so I can get a little boost there. Alright. Basically just using items that I get so I don't override any more stuff that I want. It's a good habit to get into. Just use it as soon as you get it. Let's see, there's that blue. Make sure I pick that up so it's a green for next lap. There we go. We're getting lucky on the Sphinxes. These little tunnels, there's 3 tunnels, and each one has a chance to have, you may have heard what sounded like sleigh bells, but it's the Sphinx. If you drive under it, it will invert your controls. So turning left turns you right, turning right turns you left, and it sort of pulses in and out your view. So you really don't want to roll under that, but if I see it on lap 3 here, I'll go under it for you just to show you what it looks like. But when it happens during a PB pace run, it's nothing short of frustrating. Alright, well, we missed it. Oh well. We'll have another chance in in Baron's race. Alright. So now we have the last of the courses before we start getting into mirror mode. We go through 3 circuits. 3 circuits of 4 races each, so there's 12 courses in this game. Alright, I need that blue, because this UFO will drag me back if I don't have it. Alright, I missed the green, which is not ideal, but it's okay. There's one in here. And we need to pick up 2 whites from this dangerous area. Okay, now we need 3. 2. Wow. Oh, goodness. That's a new one. That is a new one. I guess Basil had to do something before I'm done. Oh, here we go. There you go. So that's what it looks like. And if you run into somebody, you pass it to them as well. So if I ran into somebody who didn't have it, they would also get that affliction. Okay. 4th place, but not for long. Probably going to drop into 5th or something. And that's what the UFO does. It pulls you back. Alrighty. Oh, man. See, one tiny little thing will ruin your routing for the rest of the race. I'm just going to boost through here. Because all these... Oh! That's the hailstorm, or UFO, as people call it. It just freezes you in place. It's a pain in the butt. It's very rare that you'll run into one unless you make huge mistakes like I'm making right now. But we're actually, believe it or not, we're still good. We're still good on time. For estimate. GM Chrysler. Ugh. Well, this is going to be a bad race, obviously. This is going to be a bad race. But we'll see if we can't salvage it. Ugh. Man, Basil. It wouldn't be a run if Basil didn't throw a wrench in the works. Wow. And then the RNG aspect of all the NPCs is nothing short of astounding sometimes. It's almost like they get the perfect power-ups for, you know, ruining your day. Wow. Anybody care to wager a guess as to what my plus was on that one? I'll give you a hint. It's over 30 seconds. But anyway, we're done with Basil. We don't have to worry about Basil anymore. He's done. We still got first place, because we're amazing. And now we get to watch Basil eat crow, and move on and enjoy the rest of this run. Ugh. Got any good announcements, good news that we can tell Basil as he's sulking in defeat?
Well, let's find out here. Let's take a look at the tournaments that have already been funded for next year.
Oh, nice.
We've got a bunch of donations in for the ever-popular Link to the Past randomizer. My run of choice there. Got some Super Metroid randomizer on the schedule for next year. Some Mario Odyssey Lockout. That could be fun. Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer.
Woo!
There. Kirby's Dream Lands. Some Wind Waker randomizer. Some Final Fantasy randomizer. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So all kinds of great stuff. And you can get your speedrun community into SpeedGaming Live by donating, get the prize pool in there, and then we'll feature it during next year's marathon. It's a great way to get some more exposure for your speedrunner community.
You know, it's really funny that you say Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, because I recently picked that up to start running that game. I have not played it since I was probably in high school, which, to give you an idea, that was, 13, 14, coming on 15 years ago. So, and I picked it up on Switch the other day, and my God, I missed that game. The game is a lot of fun. It's also really fun to watch. I went on speedrun.com and watched a lot of the top tier times and all that. Oh, very fun game to watch.
Well, that should be a lot of fun to watch here at SpeedGaming Live 2022. So get your donations in if you want to increase the amount that we're going to be offering for a prize pool for these different tournaments, or again, to nominate your own with a donation.
I was hoping to get lucky there. If you get good RNG, you'll be able to get through there and grab that little grappling hook that you saw, and there will be somebody on their second lap that you can hook right at the finish line who will pull you right past it. All right. Now, like I said, this is the start of the mirror tracks. So these are all the tracks that we've seen before, but mirrored, and the AI is a little harder. So here we go, Magma Moon Marathon in reverse. Johnny is not that big of a threat. He sort of just drives around, picks up whatever he feels like picking up, and doesn't really use much. There's some conflicting information out there about what types of bricks he prefers. Kind of like how Captain Redbeard likes, the reds, and Basil likes just whatever screws you over, and King Kahooka likes the blues. But Johnny, no one's really clear on what he picks up. It might be different version to version between PC and N64. No one's really done a data dive on it. But at least when I play, he seems to like picking up the blues and the yellows. Don't know why. I never see him use the yellows, but I've seen him pick them up a lot. So I don't know what he's doing or planning. Frankly, I don't care, because we're going to win this circuit. He can do whatever he likes.
Shots fired.
Well, I mean, he's not a threat. But he's pretty chill. I don't know what he is, like if he's Australian or what, but everyone calls you mate in this game. And it looks like he's wearing kind of an Outback hat, so I'm going to guess Australian. Plus, I have a lot of Australian friends, so it's fun to make fun of them. How you going, mate? Bloody oath. Okay. So that was Magma Moon Marathon. Pretty straightforward. A lot of the same strategies that you use on the standard version, not the mirrored. Dark Forest Dash. The mirrored version is a little bit harder than the standard one, just because a lot of the turns you want to do are extraordinarily tight on uneven terrain. So let's hope that we get this. There we go. And just go. Okay. Okay. That's what I mean. Extraordinarily tight on uneven terrain. Alright. There we go. Oof. Alright. I don't go until the second one. And pick up that white. There we go. Because that'll launch you right to the finish line. Because at the end...
The way the warp works, does it just, send you forward on track X amount in the direction that you're facing? Or, if you explained this earlier, I missed it, and I'm sorry. But
I did not. Basically, it'll really be easier to tell during the Gypsy Moth section, because she uses the warp sometimes. But if you look down at the map where all those little blue, red, and my green arrow are, you'll pretty much just zip forward on that track. It'd be like if you had a Ridge Racer type thing, and just you'll follow the course, and for whatever reason, in some courses, it will actually auto path you through a shortcut. Like in Desert Adventure Dragway, every time I boost, you would see me come out of the tail end of that secret area, without ever opening it up. Like how I shot it with the I call it the hook shot, but the grappling hook, to open it up. It doesn't really care. It just has a sort of set path of options as to places you can go. It's all about when you initiate it. So that's why you'll see me kind of holding on to the boost for a little while and using it at very specific times, because otherwise you could get boosted off the road into a wall, or in that aforementioned secret area, you'll slam right into that wall before the exit. So, and actually, this one has a pretty good opportunity to. Oh, I got hit by something in Johnny Thunder. I think he heard me talking about Australia. Uh-oh. To be clear, I love Australia. It's just he's my competition right now, so you gotta talk a little trash. Alright. There we go. Don't grab my green. You're gonna grab it, aren't you? Yes, you are. Governor Broadside likes to do that. It's okay, they didn't hit me. Whatever. We'll just take this. Not great. Okay. I would want to boost right here, because where that would put me is it would just follow along here, and it would dump me out right about here, which would be nice. But we had Governor Broadside taking over our green in here, messing up our routing. So there we go. We grab this. We are going to boost into this white. Come out. Hopefully grab that white, but the green is much more important, because we have some backup whites. One right here, and one right here. And then we're going to boost right on this corner, because that puts us right in here. There we go. See how much faster that was than the first lap? That's what happens when things go well. Alright. Just same thing, lather, rinse, repeat. There we go. But it's lap 3, so there we go. Lap 2 and 3 went much better than lap 1. Yeah, so there you go. Johnny Thunder is done. Johnny Thunder from Down Under. Hey. See, I think I'm onto something with this Australian thing going on.
That might be it.
Yeah. And the next circuit, I get the same question every time, so I'm just going to not say anything and see if you have the same question that everybody always has when they see his name. Alright. This will be the second to last circuit before we face Rocket Racer. The lore of this game is that Rocket Racer is the world's greatest racer, and he has grown tired of beating everybody all the time. So he's opened a worldwide competition welcoming racers from around the globe to fight in tournaments to be the best racer. And whoever
so
wins...
I think I have the question.
Go for it.
Is that where your handle came from?
That is the question, and no, it's actually not. It's a happy coincidence. It may have been something subconscious and psychosomatic, but my handle just came from not wanting to use my real name on Facebook back in the day when you could only have a Facebook if you were in college. That's how old I am.
That's also how old I am, so yeah. I understand.
And so I've always been kind of amused by like aristocratic titles, like Duke and Baron and things like that. So I just went with that, and I like alliteration. On my Twitch page, my icon is actually a fan-made drawing that somebody made of me. I love it, actually. It looks very good. But it used to just be my initials, BVB, and I had a lot of people asking if I was a big fan of Black Veil Brides, to which the answer should be obvious if you've ever talked to me. No, I'm not a big fan. But people will be like, oh, do you like Black Veil Brides? Like, I really like, them and like Pierce the Veil and da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of them. And then I never hear from them again, and they unfollow me, I assume. But, you know, I don't lie. I don't tell people what they want to hear just to, you know, get follows and things like that. I am who I am, and I think that's why some people enjoy me. I keeps it real. I have no illusions. Alright, here we go. Missed the green. Routing was a little off on this race, but let's see, how's our pace looking? Not great, but we're good. But then again, the splits that I'm running against are world record times, so I would be very surprised if I was still in the green. Alright. Alright, Ice Planet Pathway is next. We are the real Baron, by the way. Don't let him fool you. Alright. Again, this one's tricky with all the uneven terrain. I'll see if I can get far ahead here. Nope. It's a good attempt, though. That guy's name is Achu and Commander Cold. Baron does have some of my favorite NPCs of this game, though. Commander Cold is a little B-word sometimes, though. But that's what makes him charming. You never suspect him. Alright, there we go. That should be good. We should get another green out of the boost. There we go. Alright. I'll try and explain these courses as I go through them. You kind of want to... You don't really need to worry about the greens or the whites up here. You should only start caring about them after this little trio here. Now you want to grab them, just to make things easier for you in the shortcut. I didn't grab them just to show worst case scenario. There we go. So you still have the 3 in here. Grab that, and I go right before I hit the ground. But somebody picked up that green and replaced it with a red. So there we go. Alright, it's going to be on the right side, but it's gone now. That green piece. This is all just extra. These pickups in the beginning are just extra. Alright. Just to save a little bit of time here, I'm going to forego that second white piece and hopefully get 2 in here. Good to go. There we go. I missed the green. Wonderful. That's not one I normally miss. There we go. Tell you what, we're going to boost to the finish line. There we go. Hello, Avery, by the way. A longtime viewer of mine just popped into chat to say hi. Hello. Hope things are well. Okay, Royal Knights Raceway. Mirror mode. This one's tricky. I'm going to try and do some weaving. Oh, wow. I think that's the first start boost I've missed in probably months. Alright. Alright, with him kind of ahead of us here, we're just going to try not to pick up anything and then get the boost. Alright, screw that. Or, forget that, excuse me. I told you, I'm trying my best. I normally run pretty blue, so I think I've been doing alright. Okay. Okay, we're going to do the weave. Which is where... Yes, we're definitely doing the weave now. There you go. Got both white pieces there without really losing any time. Aside from when we got shot by Achu, the punk. Alright, we're just going because we need to get ahead. Much like other racing games, your ranking in the circuit is based on points. You get 30 points for a win, 20 for second, 10 for third, and then progressively worthless amounts of points after that. I think it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So just as long as you have the most points, you'll be in first, but you just really need to get in the top 3 to advance to the next circuit if you're just playing this game casually. So as long as you're top 3, you're okay. And if you're having trouble getting into the top 3 for a circuit, I'll just say this game was sort of like intended for children. It's pretty it's pretty easy to get in top 3. Although I will say that Gypsy Moth can give people a lot of trouble. So I don't blame you if you have trouble with Gypsy. But other than that, it's pretty simple.
So get good, noob.
No, I would never say that publicly. All right, this is the last one for the fake Baron. We all know that I'm the real one. But yeah, the people have also asked, like, oh, why are you using the card that you're using? Is there like some advantage to the the brick placement or the chassis choice that you went with for? No, the main reason is because this category's rules state that every run has to be done on a fresh file, which means nothing unlocked, and so the game comes with a couple like preloaded default racers. There's like Scooter and Joan of Cart, which that's real cute. But the one that I like is his name is Turbocharger. It's this exact cart, but it's white. It's a white cart, and he has like a racing uniform that's all white. He's got a mustache, kind of a fancy guy. So rather than making a new file every single time I reset the game, I just made a file where I got to make my character with my name, dress him how I wanted to, and I just remade Turbocharger's cart, but with black bricks. Because you're not allowed to use anything that you get from the other circuits, which you can't do at the start of a game anyway. Now, if you did want to run this game, and you're like, I really, really like King Kahuka's cart, and I want to use it for the rest of the run, you are more than welcome to go into the menu and go into the cart editor and just use the pre-made King Kahuka cart after you started the run. The only reason I don't do anything like that is because it wastes a ton of time. But if you're just looking to get on the leaderboard, which you probably will, you run it, you get under 2 hours, that's pretty good for somebody who's never played or run the game before. That's really good. But I just don't do it because the menu is, you just want to get through it as quickly as possible. So here's Gypsy Moth. There we go. Gypsy Moth is the mirrored version of Basil. She likes to screw you over. She likes to take the things that you want to get. She goes after the stuff that I want. So we're going to try to get ahead of her. Grab that blue. Good. Good. Grab the green. Good. Grab the white. Gooder. This is very good. Alright, now we only need one white piece from the dangerous laser trap here. Just go. And speaking of laser trap and Legos, I was watching that Lego Star Wars run earlier. Power to that, man. I could never have the patience to learn a run like that with all the different skips and such. Although I do run Mega Man X, and that has some skips in it that are really tedious to learn. Oh, that's not bueno. Okay. Ooh, neither. If you do that correctly, you can actually pick up both the white and the green. But it's not frame perfect, but it's very close to frame perfect. And in a game like this, pretty much anything that's not intended is frame perfect, because it's so difficult to control this game. For example. Oh boy, let's go in the grass. Oh, that worked. Sometimes if you go in the grass or the dirt, whatever you want to call it, the UFO beam will not actually pull you back. So you lose a little bit of time on the angle and the route, but it's a lot better than getting sucked into... Oh! Okay, I got hit right before I used my boosts. So when you have a white piece that you're using to ramp up the abilities that you have, if you get hit by anything, cannonball, laser, rocket, whatever, you'll lose one of those white pieces. And so the second tier of boost is just that little jet boost there. So it's a lot different than a warp, I'll tell you that. And sometimes if you use that jet boost where you're supposed to warp, it makes it extraordinarily difficult to navigate, because you kind of lose a little bit of control as you're using it. Okay, we're just going to hold on to this blue piece and play it safe. There we go. Ideally, just want to use the blue. Use it right before you grab the white, so you can have that on deck for these greens in here. Don't you grab that green, that's mine! This is actually a pretty good start. It's what I wanted to do in Basil, but he wouldn't let me because he kept stealing all my greens. Like a jerk. Alrighty. And hello, hello, Sigma. There we go. I was going to say, I was kind of hoping for that Sphinx so I could show you what it did, but I forgot. We already did that. And I'm not about to lose more time to that. Okay. This is sort of an old strategy. I'm going to see if it worked. Boost into that green. It should put me... Normally it'll put you like right around here. So you'll kind of just boost out of it right into these whites, and then grab another green for like yet another boost. But that's a very inconsistent, difficult trick to pull off that nobody does, because it's so inconsistent. Because there's certain areas that when you use boosts, it's sort of a 50-50 as to exactly where you're going to be. It's like, oh, I might be on the left side of this, or I might be on the right side of it, and I would really, really prefer to be on the right side of it, and you dump out on the left side. Just that kind of thing. Uh-oh. Alright, we're going to need 1, 2, 3 white pieces. This is lap 3, so it doesn't matter what I pick up, because we're not coming back here. There we go. Yeah, if you override something, it doesn't matter. So just grab whatever you want, use whatever you want on lap 3. Lap 3 is just a free-for-all. Oh, boy. And just because, let's go get this. Yeah. Alright. Alright, we got 2 more races. This is arguably worse than Basil's version of Pirate Skull Pass. I hate this track. This is the worst one. If you got rid of Pirate Skull Pass in this game and just did everything else, I'd be happy. I'd run it a lot more than I do. Alright.
What makes this stage so bad? Just the bumpy ground?
The bumpy ground is very difficult. The placement of the green pieces, and this track is only in circuits where the boss loves to steal your greens. Like if this track was in King Kahuka or something else, like it wouldn't be that bad. But the fact that the bosses are constantly going for your greens, and there's only like 2, I think, on this course. That first one that she took, and then this one. So I'm just going to use it to boost ahead. Took my white. That's fine. The bumpy terrain is, you can get around. You sort of get used to it in running this game, kind of learn how to compensate. Oh, I'm dumb. I was anticipating that green being gone, and I missed it by maybe 2 pixels. Because you notice a little swirly around all these pickups, and that swirl also has a hitbox. So you don't have to hit the brick directly, you can hit that little swirl. And sometimes, for proper routing, you are a jerk. You are a jerk. Stealing my greens. Oh, I noticed that you hit an oil slick. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get for stealing my greens. Let that be a lesson to you. Now leave this next one alone. Oh, you're a jerk. Willa the Witch. I got a few choice words for you, Willa. Like you. And are. And a jerk. Alright, this is a bad race, which is kind of expected on this one. Particularly in Basil's stage, like just this course in general is where runs go to die. Which is fine because we weren't on a particularly good pace. If I was on a PB pace and this was happening right now, I would be tilted. I'd be very tilted. But it's not a big deal. Alright, let's put that course in the rear view. Oh wow, we're still way under estimate too. Kind of shows you I was being very conservative with my estimate. Because a lot of things can go wrong, and when they do, they add minutes. Right now in my splits, before I've even started the last race of Night Marathon, I'm already plus 2.5 minutes. Before the race has even started. Alright, there we go. There we go. Ooh, good start, but kind of ruined it by slamming into that wall. Alright. Good. Sometimes she goes for the green there. That heat-seeking missile is exactly that, a heat-seeking missile. You'll hear it a lot more in Rocket Racer's race, which is the final race. This is the last circuit race right here, which we could come in last place and we'd still be in first place for the circuit. Like we're fine. We are not in risk of not continuing. Like I said, this game is for children. We're not. They want you to play the game. They don't want you getting mad, so they make it pretty simple. All right. There's all 3 whites. I like the witch up there in the mountains. This is also the only course that used to have a shortcut that they took out of the game for the N64 version. Not sure why. I don't know why they took it out, but they did. But remnants of it are still there. It's up top there, right up top. If you clip properly, you can actually still see pieces of it. There's a video on YouTube that you can watch if you want to see what it looks like. But I guess you were supposed to come out right around here through the castle, kind of going over the ramparts. I think that would have been cool to have kept it in, but alas, they decided against it. Okay. Not sure why. This track isn't that great. Could have used a nice shortcut. Woo! Alright. So that is it for the circuit races. And now that we have proven ourselves the greatest LEGO racer of all time, Rocket Racer wants to challenge us. Wants to see who's the best. Who is the best? I'll give you a hint. It's me. See that? Standing on top of that number 1? That's not changing. That's my number 1. That's my plastic gold trophy. Alright, Gypsy. You had your fun on Pirate Skull Pass, but we're done with you. And every time that you beat the circuit, it says it right there. You get their car set. And you might think, what does that mean? You just get to race their car? It's like, you get to race their car and use all the parts from that Lego set. So for example, in Captain Redbeard, you get, his car, but you can also make a cart and like put a treasure chest on it and like some pirate flags and like all sorts of other stuff. Alright, this is the last race against Rocket Racer. There's only 2 types of power-ups in here, red and green. So all very dangerous. So you want to get boosts as quickly as possible because that's pretty much all Rocket Racer does is full stage boosts and homing rockets. Case in point. So since he's going to do that, we just want to get ahead as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. There actually is a chance I can lose this race. But this is the only race in the circuit, so resetting the circuit isn't that bad. But when you're on a PB pace and you kind of flub this race, it feels really bad, particularly after doing well on like Pirate Skull Pass and Night Marathon and Adventure Temple Trail and all those really difficult courses. You get some gold splits on those and then you just hit a roadblock here. Oh, it feels bad. I've done it before. It's not great. I think my best ever Pirate Skull Pass time got ruined on the run just by this race. I was not pleased. Alright. We're pretty safe. right now. It's really just finishing the race, and we win. Time will be once we cross the finish line, which will be in 3, 2, 1, time. Alright, there we go.
Hey, get your GGs in chat for BaronVonBryan. Nice job.
Don't say GG, that wasn't that great. That was
I will.
58.
I will say GG.
Thank you. Well, it's a sub-hour. Sub-hour is top 3 on the leaderboards. So there you go. But yeah, Lego Racers, fantastic game. I still love it. I still play it casually, like not even running the game. I love Legos. I like building stuff with it, so I'll make like ridiculous carts and, you know, just play around. And here he is, calling me mate. Knew you had it in you, mate. Thank you. Thank you, Rocket Racer. And now you get to use his car set. So there we go. The Rocket Racer car set, which I think is the second best car in the game. The best one I think is Veronica Voltage's. As far as base cars, obviously there's ones that you can build that are technically the best, because as janky as this game is, it actually does a very good job with like physics and like weight distribution and, you know, as far as building cars. So if you just put a whole bunch of bricks just on the right side of your cart, your turning to the right will be fantastic, but to the left is going to be really difficult. Alright, and that's the game. There's also, you know, single races, versus races, and timed races. You get Veronica Voltage, who is Rocket Racer's partner. You get her in her car by beating every course in the timed races. So, yeah. But yeah, that's Lego Racers. Yeah. If you have any questions, my Twitch chat is always open for DMs as well. Hope to see you there sometime. I also run other games, but this isn't the time for that. Alrighty. Actually, it is time for one more other game, which I'll let you guys announce. But, yeah. That's it for me, pretty much.
Thank you very much.
Alright, close that. Okay.